Hi, welcome back. This is Ankit, and this is the fourth part of our series. And in this part, we are going to talk about the groups in Gitlab and what are its users. And then we are also going to talk about the user permissions related to the project. So, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel yet, I would suggest you to click on the bell icon and subscribe to our channel to receive all our video notification directly into your YouTube. And so let's start with our today's video. So up till now, in the last video, we discussed about the private project and the public project, how we can create the different projects. Okay, and this basically relates to the permission related to those projects. Now, both of these has been created under the username, that is my username. Okay, so but there are scenarios like whenever you are working in the company, so whenever an individual user starts with a new repository, he can go ahead and create that repository under his username. Okay, but when the repository is that like the developers have created a level of code, or the DevOps teams have created the level of code, they need to move them under a particular vertical or a team project, so that all the further repositories that we are going to create will come under that. Okay, so you can create, this is what we call groups, so you can create the groups on the basis of team. Now let's say if there is one particular team, there would be a number of repositories that team would be requiring, and since the introduction of the microservices, there are many more repositories which are needed by a team, because each microservice will be having their own repository. Okay, so it's better to create the project on the basis of the groups, and the groups basically can represent your vertical or the teams under that, and on basis of teams, all the further repositories can be created under those teams. Okay, so now in order to create the project under a particular group, you can go ahead and directly click on new project, and here it shows that it's asking that it's going to create under the username Ankit.Mittal in this case. So we can click on create a group. So it asks us for a group name, and we can directly enter. So this and this basically means the same, and we can say something like catalog. Okay, and so this will belong to the catalog team. Okay, so catalog is basically like all the products which a company is having, they would be displayed under the catalog. So there would be one catalog team in case of e-commerce application. So similarly, in our example, I'm going to show you how you can create a catalog group, and then all the projects for that catalog team can be directly created under this catalog. Now this will be a private project, and click on create group. So you can create a number of groups representing different teams, and then you can create number of projects under this group, so that it represents different microservices that this team is having. This makes the overall version management much more easier. You can click on new project, and this time it shows us catalog, and it gives us the choice like what we exactly want to do. We can create under groups, users, and the username which will be yours, and we can directly say something like catalog API. Okay, uh, so and this will be a private and initialized. So If I click on create project, it's going to create the catalog API project under the catalog group. And then clicking on the catalog group will show us all the projects. So there we go, and here it is. If we go back and see, so there it shows that it's into the catalog group. Okay, this is like one of the things. Now this user is having the permission, the users Ankit Mittal is having all the permission on these projects. Let's try to add one more user. So let's sign out and let's create one more user over here. Let's call him Aryan, uh, or let's call him Scott. Okay, and the username will be Scott. User email will be scott@cloudfusion.in. Again, the email scott@cloudfusion.in, and we are going to provide a password to the user Scott. Okay, click on register. So it creates a user Scott. Now if you will see, there is no project right now. So by default, whenever a user sign ups for the account in the Gitlab, he is not going to have any of the permissions on those projects. Okay, so this is somewhat this is where the administrative level account, the root user account, will come into the role, and he is the one who can provide the permissions. Okay, so I'm going to sign out from Scott for a moment, and I'm going to log back using the root account. I could have also signed in from my user Ankit and go ahead and manage from there, but we can do this from the root user account, and then we can click on explore projects. So the root user doesn't need any permission. He is the administrator, so he is going to have permission on all the projects. So let's say we have worked on the private project demo. Let's go to this private project demo. Okay, and we can go to the members. So right now it's showing that Ankit Mittal is a member of private project demo. Okay, and he has been assigned the role of a maintainer. Okay, so and under these members we can basically invite a user to be a member of this group. So we can directly click on it. It's right now only 3 users are showing. So we are going to assign Scott to this repository, to this project. So once we have done this, the Scott will be able to see this when in his dashboard whenever he signs up. So only those projects will be visible to the Scott on which he is having the permission, or the public projects. Okay, now there are basically 4 roles that we can associate with the user. This will be your guest. Okay, and guest is not having any permissions. A reporter, a developer, and a maintainer, depending upon what type of role you are choosing, you are going to get the appropriate permission. So since we consider Scott to be contributing to the code in this project, so we are going to assign him the developer. Okay, and you can put some expiration date as to when this permission expires. We don't require that, so just click on invite, and that should add the Scott to this project. Okay, now let's sign out and let's test this if the Scott is able to see this project or not. So we can go to the user Scott and then sign with the user Scott. So this time, this project starts showing in the Scott dashboards, and we can also take a pull after adding the SSH key and make the changes to this uh, project using the Scott. So this is about the basic administration, how you should create the projects in your organization and like manage the users and assign them the permissions to the various projects and the repositories for doing the version management related work on the projects. All right, that's all for this video. In our next video, we are going to discuss further. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, I would like you to subscribe by clicking on the bell icon so that you get all our video notifications. Thank you and see you later.